Now I started recording, but there may be some connectivity problems. Okay, very good morning, my beloved students of
Good
underground
morning,
coal
sir.
mining.
Good morning,
MN,
sir.
very good morning. MN 2102. Now let me know before starting the class whether my screen is visible or not. And my apologies for starting little late because of this isolation or sanitization which was done my room because of this 1 week quarantine. So that's why it is little late. We will compensate with some extra classes depending on the availability of the time and the syllabus. Now I am sharing my slide. Let me know whether my screen is visible because there may be many problems in the connectivity. Sometimes even voice may not be audible, but don't worry. Now since I am there in the office, you can make to 0661 246 2611 so that you can give my voice through your phone or whatever microphone. Now is my screen visible? Yes, no,
No, sir.
not it.
No, sir.
Okay, and I am sharing the content because these are sometimes this type of problems happen. I am trying to share the content. It seems you are unable to see, but let me try once again. Now let me know whether you are able to see. Then I can start discussing. But meanwhile, you can also ask any doubts without wasting time because we are discussing about our module 1 development of stratified deposits, and we have seen with some conventional methods of extraction its applicability. Still screen sharing, there is a problem it seems, right? Still I am trying, and we have seen board and pillar method, which is more conventional method of mining. Its applicability, advantage, disadvantages with some examples, typical examples, and also some room and pillar method of mining, how distinct it is, and of course that method is not being practiced in India, but we should know about different methods. So that's why that also we discussed. And next to that is a long wall mining method. And we should know all these applicability and its methods, whatever these advantages and disadvantages of these methods, so that given the conditions, geomining conditions, our students should be ready to select suitable mining methods, and then they should also be in a position the details of the mining methods, including, as you have seen while discussing about the topics of assignments. And now let me know whether my screen is visible. Yes, no.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now you are
Yes,
able
sir.
to see, right? Okay, now let us come to our this PPT, which is lecture number 7. I think we completed up to 6 last week. Under quarantine, isolated there from home. Now continuing with this, as we have seen, many methods applicability, advantage, disadvantage, and of course I will be giving you all details of all the methods, but with whatever was taught to you in the previous semesters, I also, without reinventing the wheel or reiterating same thing, if that becomes something like a review, then we can go in details into the methods and in detail into even classification of method itself. All those details we will go further. And for that, some material I sent to you as a part of national mission project, which we did it long back, along with some of our assistant professors from IIT Kharagpur, who was working with me, who were working with me as a scientist in CMRS long back. We designed some course materials as a national mission project for pedagogy, we can say underground coal mining methods related. Okay. Now coming to that advantages and disadvantages of whatever we were discussing about room and pillar method, already we have seen. Compared to long wall, of course, that room and pillar is less capital. And high OMS. OMS means output per man shift. And here itself, you also should know output per man shift means generally in India, all underground mines, already I am reiterating again and again, giving the need and impetus and emphasis on the need of underground coal mining in future. This output per man shift is just around 1, or there are so many mines less than 1 output means that is in tons per man shift. That is, if a person is employed in a shift, how much is the average coal that he is able to produce. If it is a district OMS in a particular district, this becomes maybe around 2 if it is depilling district. Otherwise, development again, it may be around 1.5 to whatever. And when it is a long wall mining, these are the numbers you can note down, my beloved students. It is a long wall, depending on its capacity and sophisticated, whatever the technologies nowadays we are using. Even it goes beyond 10 output per man shift, even up to 30, something like that. And this is also very easy to estimate in a shift how many persons are employed. And when it is considered only in that or the panel, we call it as a panel OMS or a district OMS. Otherwise, it is a total mine OMS for a particular mine, or otherwise for a particular colliery. I mean, the group of collieries are for total Mahanadi Coalfields Limited, or for total Western Coalfields Limited, or for Southeastern Coalfield Limited. In that way, when we see, it will be less than, uh, on the average, when we are seeing less than 1 for underground mines in general, right? And then we are losing. Already I have given you some examples, right? So now compared to these reduced high OMS and reduced cost of production than conventional board and pillar, or whatever we have seen before also. Now coming to the disadvantages, right? It has all advantages of board and pillar. This is we are discussing for the room and pillar method, and it has similar poor ventilation because there are so many openings and strata control problems, wastage of coal in terms of that ribs and all. And this room and pillar method, of course, already I told you, it is not being practiced. Now coming to our long wall method, which I appreciated while selecting your topics also, my beloved students of underground coal mining, because future will be only long wall mining because of only simple reason. Even a pillar, if you want to design, that is supposed to be so big size, and that is nothing but a long wall only. Very simple, right? So this long wall method, uh, this in general, you must be knowing in the previous semester, but you note down for as also we will be discussing more in detail, where there are two types basically, where long wall mining is done. And in India, with mechanized longwall mining, we are only taking up with the retreat method of mining only. Otherwise, this can be advanced method of longwall mining. The case is very simple. Already regarding this also, let me know. Some of everybody must be knowing what is the basic difference between advanced mining method in longwall and retreat longwall mining. Anybody can say in short. I am not writing as a quiz or as a question, but all these are considered in that way. What is the difference between advanced longwall mining or retreat longwall mining? Anybody can respond. Anybody? Otherwise, don't worry. For the time being, but at least it gives me an impression that you know something about it, and then I can explain something more. Otherwise, I have to tell all those things. Otherwise, my voice may not be audible to you. If my voice is not audible, already you know very well, you must have made a call to me to 0661 246 2611 since I am in the office, and you can get my voice through your phone to everybody through your microphone. Continuing further, then generally long wall advancing or retreating. Suppose if this is a long wall panel, nowadays even we are having 2-3 kilometers long panel, and this is a face length. If this face is 200 meter or 300 meter, and this is 2 kilometer or 3 kilometers. Now this, suppose you consider there is a main incline here, or a like this, if it is a deposit, right? And your shaft is here, and you made some trunk roadways and came to this, and then these are your gate roads, and this is a total panel, right? In that case, now when it is advanced, means from the main trunk roadways, from here itself, you started developing like 10 or 20 meter like this, and total main gate and tail gate both. And with this 10-20 meter advance of this gate road, already this is a long wall panel created, and we start extracting this, and then this will become like your uh, panel being worked, and that is advancing, right? That's why it is called advanced long wall mining. Otherwise, you develop.
Sir, your voice is not audible.
Sir, you are not audible, sir.
Yes.
Okay. I hope you bear with me because of this problem in the connectivity. Now, our students have even provided my voice through the microphone like this. Now, just continuing with our class, as I was trying to explain, in between, of course, in time, voice is audible to my MS team for me, then we can stop using. Now, till that time, let us now sanitization. Now, is long wall mining, whether it is a advanced or retreat long wall.
Hello,
Yes.
sir.
Yes.
Your voice is not audible in meeting, sir. Just in college is getting.
Meanwhile, I am taking attendance. Yes, my beloved students.
Sir, you can mute from your side, sir. Okay, sir.
I muted. Now is my voice audible? My voice is audible now. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right. I think you are having two devices. There's something to be done. As well.
Sir, should I join the meet from, like, I have joined the meet from laptop, sir, and I've called you from phone, sir.
Now it is okay.
Yes, sir.
No, sir, it's not that much clear.
Yeah, that problem will be there. It may not be very clear. But now I am sharing slide also, and you can hear a little bit the voice. And I want you people to say more about what already you know from the previous semester to compensate this type of voice problem. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right. Longwall mining is in general applied for deep cover, where in a simple way to understand by any layman, if it is boarded pillar and you are designing the size of a pillar as per regulation, previously it was 98 for development gallery, of coal mines regulation 1957 or 111 of present coal mines regulation 2017, where it is pillar size up to 360-meter depth cover they have given. Maybe around 40-50 meters size, bigger size, large size pillar. When it increases even 600, 1 kilometer, then a pillar size of maybe 100 meters may be required to maintain the stability. That is as good as having a long wall panel of 100 meters baseless. That is a very simple to understand, my beloved students of underground coal mining. That is the reason why a depth covers. Obviously, your method becomes long wall. And with this method of mining. And now, who can read this? Second CR. Can you read this? I will explain.
Sir, second year is not present, sir. He is having.
Third CR.
Yes, sir.
Anybody? Voluntarily.
Anyone start reading?
From second paragraph.
Yes, sir. I'm Suryakant, sir.
Continue, Surya.
The roof is either allowed to cave or allowed it to settle over the pack wall of stowing material. The roads on the yes, sir.
All right. One by one, I like to explain. Only thing is that material part, there will not be any echo or like that. Okay. So here, this method can be with caving or with backfilling. In general, mechanized method cannot be with backfilling because very simple reason is we till now don't have a method of stowing or backfilling which is so fast, which is so rapid, or which can be compatible with the rate of extraction in a mechanized longwall mine. That is a very simple way of telling. That's why we go with only caving method of longwall mining, and more so in India, we are having retreat method of caving. Now next, Surya, please.
The roads on either ends of the face are known as gate roads, which serve for intake and return airways as well as for the transport of coal and material and access to the face.
Very good. So, in our laboratory, material testing lab or mining machinery lab, already we have some model. May I know any of you have seen this model? In general, I used
No,
to
sir.
show model to our students. Yes, no. Anybody has seen this long wall model? We purchased long back, not just now. It may be when I was head of the department or before, 10, 15 years back, which explains in a very good and excellent manner what are the phase machinery in the long wall panel, especially that is a retreat long wall. Otherwise, don't worry. I will also show you through some type of video also in the subsequent classes if you are unable to come back here in this semester. Only thing is you have to remind me that. So in this long wall, already as I told you, there are two gate roads. These gate roads can be a single gate road if it is a long wall panel. This can be a single gate road like this one on the top and at the bottom. Otherwise, twin gate roads, two gate roads on the top, two on the bottom. Or it can be even three having chain pillars. Okay? That means this panel can be developed in so many ways. So those are serving for the purpose of, or they are also called as gate roads, or tailgate and main gate. In general, main gate is that which is served as intake airway and tailgate as a return airway. Right? And in general, intake airway is also used for transportation of coal or your belt conveyor. And your material is transported to the return airway or the tailgate airway or transporting these materials. So this is the way how these long wall workings are generally designed. This is in general about the long wall method.
Yes, sir. You can say
Yeah.
more.
Okay, don't worry. So all your students will be grateful to you who is giving voice, my voice, your phone in this typical period of online learning teaching process. Now coming to the application. Now first para anybody can read. Not only Surya, anybody. First para. On the application I have written here. It's beautiful black and red color.
So this is Aryaman.
Aryaman, right, please.
So the method is suitable for thin seams as thin as 0.6 meter, lying at moderate depth and having inclination up to 20 degrees. However, it can be applied for seams at more depth greater than 600 meters, where board and pillar method is not suitable due to stator control problems.
Very good, thank you. So here We need not go by only the literal meaning of English here. So there are so many investigators or those who design the mining methods. They have written in different books in different times, right? So some of that I try to compile and keep it as a part of our national mission project pedagogy in underground mining. Considering few of my own experiences as a scientist and also as a person designing the methods along with some authors like Dr. T.N. Singh and Professor Haji Singh, I have written this statement. Okay. And there are so many things. Already I have given the references. You must have gone through some of those books. That is Underground Winning of Coal by Dr. T.N. Singh and also Modern Method of Underground Working or Winning of Coal by Professor Haji Singh. Right. So all that incorporates the material. Why I tell about these two books is in addition to this, Professor S.P. Mathur, who was to the core a conventional mining engineer, I should say, was the CMD of Southeastern Coalfield, ECL, CMPA, and advisor Ministry Coal, with whom we were working for a long time in different projects as a scientist in CMR and so with all that experience, yes, I try to keep and try to explain to you. You also go through these books, 3 books I specify specifically because that gives a lot of data, information based on our own indigenous methods and our failures in importing technologies and failures of imported technologies from either Germany, France, India, hydraulic mining, integral cleaning in East Qatar or blasting early method in Chora Colliery, ECL, East Qatar. So many mines, Gopali Check mine. You all can note down, and this is also recorded, so you can also hear to this and note down later also. But these are all methods you should know about it. And these authors have given a very critical appraisal in their books also, based on our investigations, where I was also part of this design and experimentation of these methods. So now, coming to this thin thing, now you have seen in a board and pillar a person should move conventional way, right? But in a long run, since if you can prepare the gate road and gate road also on your knees, people used to crawl. I can say crawling, right? So with some pads in the knee, they used to crawl also, even with the thin, just for repairing it. Otherwise, it is something like a manless mining, which we have been telling long back since my days when I was a student like you in 1980s, when Professor Adi Singh was teaching to us as I am teaching you, right? So that means in board and pillar, all places people are supposed to move, right? And there it is very difficult. But if it is a long one, person need not move if you have even a plow. You may note down. It can be a plow or it can be even a auger mining also can be done. It can be with cutting machine. We can have so many things where person need not enter inside the face, but we can get the coal and even these gate roads can be of your height. Okay. And in that gate road, I can commission the mission like a plow or a auger or a continuous cutting machinery I can have. And that can cut along the face and that coal can be collected along whatever is the gate road. That gate road at least I can have cutting the floor or cutting the roof. Cutting the roof coal, not roof coal. It can be a roof sandstone or floor sandstone. Dinting or blasting the roof. I can go inside even up to 1.8 meter gate. This is the meaning of this, right? So these things also can be worked when we have even, it was done not in India, but in other countries, we can work for it. And the regarding the inclination and all, there are so many reasons. When it is at a more inclined, then if this inclination is more than angle of repose of the material, one side of that material will be simply whatever a cutting, so that will go down the face and it can be collected. So many things are there. And then depth cover issue already you understood. More than 600 meter, why we are going for that? Why did not overemphasize my beloved students? Now going to the next, because now it is 9:53:54. Only these two paragraphs we discuss. Later any doubt and summarize for today on this application of long wall method. Now please somebody, second paragraph you can read, second and third. Anybody please.
It can be employed for gassy seams and seam prone to spontaneous heating, which requires meticulous planning for ventilation.
Very good. Next also.
For seam needing mechanization to achieve high output, this method is best suited.
Okay. So last but not the least, I need not tell you, you know very well, when there is more mechanization, we have seen in the disadvantage of Bowden pillar and Roman pillar, where concentration of workings will be at a place. So we can get lot of production, we can concentrate your supervision, spend your energy, whatever. Right? Then coming to the second point, which is also very important point, it can be applied for gases. What is the meaning of this? Now you can see when ventilation is not good in Bowden pillar or Roman pillar, it is very simple, obviously, that when it is a long wall panel, you are sending your air, intake air through one or two couple of roadways as a main gate, as an intake airway, and your return is after passing through the working phase. Already your working phase is there, and then it is returned through the return airway. So obviously that is the best way of ventilation, and even if that gas or spontaneous heating, that heat is also taken away easily, and of course there are so many other advantages, but in that way this is applicable in a better way compared to Bowden pillar. That is the meaning of this. Okay. And I hope now it is 9:56, my beloved students. If you have any doubts, you can ask. The subsequent class we will discuss about these advantages. So many advantages of long wall, of course. That is the reason why you have taken, many people have taken. I appreciate that for considering future of underground coal mining, interest on long wall mine, and disadvantages, of course. And then already we have seen so many mines, some videos, and some more mines also I used to take inside some long wall panels, Bowden pillar panels, whether it is a GD incline, blasting gallery, what, how this is decided based on the performance of different panels, different working with different machinery, LSDs, remote control LSDs, or conventional SDL with lot of instrumentation. This is a long wall panel with this is long wall panel number 3D. You must be seeing this 3D1. Along with me is a very senior strata control engineer, Sridhar. Welcoming to long wall. All these things now, just since we are discussing about long wall, I am showing this little bit, taking you. This is a tailgate of long wall, and our very senior directors of mine safety, our Narendra and our senior people are here, along with their general manager, measuring this. This is a long wall gate road, and all those things already we have seen. So now, any doubt? Otherwise, we will. This is your long wall shield. Now you can see tailgate how it was supported. And now I am going for attendance. And now let us take your. Yeah. Any doubt for 1 minute and then another minute for summary. Anybody?
Yes, sir. Sir, I'm Suryakant. May I summarize?
Continue, please.
Yes, sir. Sir, we started with discussion on the advantages of the board pillars method, how they are less capital expenditures other than the long well mining, and how high OMCs are reduced, cost of productions are there in the board pillar method, and then we discuss about the disadvantages of some disadvantages of the board pillars method, like the ventilation systems and all. Then the next we move to long well mining methods, where some points we have discussed, like the length of the long well mining and the uh, roadways and gateways. Two types of the long well mining, that is iterate method and the advanced long well method, and we discussed the definitions and the how we distinguish between the advanced long well mining method by main gate and the tail gate, where the advanced movement is done through the long well mining. And then we discuss about some points of, like how in the advancement the cave is formed behind and the gulf is formed when the long well mine. And then we discussed in the applications and how it can be applied for the thin seams, and thin seams where man cannot be moved, the longer mines goes. Sir, you give an examples of plow mining and auger mining, where person cannot move, but in the long run mining, the gates are of man's height, but through that flaws and the extractions are coming through that, the long run mine can be applied, and the inclinations and the depth where it can be worked. Then we discussed about the ventilation system, where the board pillars methods have not good ventilation system due to their gallery systems, but in the long well mining it's have a main gate inlet and returning inlet through where the air can be moved uh, fluently, and have a good ventilation system. Sir, then after that, you showed some pictures of GTK 8 incline SLC. That Yes, sir. That.
Very good. Nicely summarized. We should not enter into others class. I think it is 10 just. And now let us close for today. If any doubts, of course, we will be continuously in contact through our WhatsApp group, phone 066124626111. Now my quarantine period is over, through office number also we will be there. Now before stopping, what we say, take care of
Jai Hind, sir.
Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Jai Hind,
Jai
Jai
Hind,
Bharat,
Jai Bharat, Jai Hind,
all the
Jai
best. And
Thank you, sir.
thank you very much for giving my voice through everybody, to all the students, and bearing with me
Yes.
in these problems of connectivity and delay due to some quarantine, and our process of following COVID guidelines and
No
sanitization.